Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello. My name is Heather and I am a YouTuber who seems to always get hurt. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for clicking on another one of my videos. It means so much to me and my channel. If you guys are familiar or did watch my last video, you may have seen I get hurt a lot, and that video has gotten almost 400 views, and honestly guys, that means so much to me. That is crazy. I know videos obviously get way more, but that is the most any of my videos have gotten for views, and that's just so awesome. So thank you guys, and here is part 2 of some more injuries and stories and just craziness and me just being stupid for however long this video ends up being. Who knows, honestly. So to jump into this video, I am going to actually go back to when I was young. I have another story that I actually forgot to put in the last one. And then also I forgot to mention some other things about when I had broken my arm. So yeah, let's jump in to back when I was still really little. I can't remember how old I was. I still had a pacifier in my mouth, which I loved pacifiers so much. I called them PCs also. And my mom, the way she got me to stop using a pacifier is one night she came in and said that she had to take my pacifiers away for the PC fairy. I can't make this up, guys. For the PC fairy. I don't remember why or what it was exactly, but yeah, that happened. But with the pacifier, that actually ended up hurting me. So the pacifiers never actually injured me, but I kind of blame it for this first story that I'm about to tell you guys. I kind of blame it in a way. You'll hear. So I was really little and I had pacifier in my mouth and I had a bottle of, I think it was probably milk, in my hand, and I was standing on the kitchen one of the kitchen chairs that we still actually have the same table and chairs from when we were really little. And so I was standing on the chair and I was holding onto the back of the seat, and I had the bottle in the hand and I was looking at something on the ground, and the chair ended up tipping over and I got bottle straight in the eye, and blamed the pacifier because the pacifier was in my mouth. The bottle probably wouldn't have hit me in the eye. I probably would have had the bottle in my mouth or something. So I blamed the pacifier for that one. But yeah, so I got a black eye from that. So I got a black eye from that, and then another time we were actually leaving to go for pictures. My mom had booked like professional pictures at one of those like photo places at the mall, and so we were leaving for that. And as we were leaving, my mom opens the door that leads into the garage, and it hits me right in the eye with the doorknob. And I just start crying and screaming, and it instantly turns black and blue. And my mom was like, great, now I have to go cancel the photos, and we're already running late for them. And so she had to call and like cancel, and I had a whole black eye. It was just awful. So the last one that I can remember, I think we were in our backyard, and we used to have this thing where like we'd lay on our stomach on the swing and we would spin it up and like twist ourselves around and twist the swing up, and then like pick ourselves up and like go into a ball, and it would spin really fast. And so we would do that all the time, but this one time I guess it just swung too crazy and I hit my face against one of those like side beams that go up to hold like for the swings specifically. And I hit my face into one of the wooden beams and gave myself a black eye again. So yeah, I think there was another one about either me or my sister giving ourselves 2 black eyes. It probably was me. I don't remember, and I don't even remember what had happened, but one of us did that as well. So take that as you will. That was interesting. We just were always getting hurt. My sister slammed her finger in a car door and actually broke it as well. Had to get stitches. I don't think she broke, I'm not sure if she broke it, but she did have to get stitches in her finger. I think she had to get like 3 to 5 stitches or something like that. Crazy. It was, oh my gosh, we were both a mess. So those are just some more just short, quick stories for you guys from when I was really little. And also, what I forgot to tell you guys in the story about breaking my arm, this was honestly so funny. I can't believe I forgot to tell you guys. But when I had first gotten, the cast, I think it was like the first morning, I woke up and in the hallway, I'll insert a clip for you guys, but in the hallway we have like a little door frame. And it's like you come up the stairs and there's a hallway and a door frame. I got up and I guess I was just not used to having the cast on my arm because it was fairly heavy, because it is like a plaster substance that is like the cast. I can't remember what the material is exactly, but it is fairly heavy, especially when you have one all the way up to your shoulder like I did for 4 weeks. It was awful. So I got up and I'm going about my normal life. I'm not thinking anything of it besides this. So I get up, I'm going to head downstairs, and I actually slam my arm into the wall and actually dent the wall, as you can see in this clip. So yeah, that, and then I had dents in the wall from another cast that I get later on in life. Among casts that I have had, yes, casts, I've had many. So that was that one, and then you guys will hear about the other one later on. And also with the cast, those, honestly, it's no joke how itchy casts get. I have had multiple and they all have gotten so itchy, and with having a full arm, when you get itchy down here, you can't get to it, and it's awful. Like, you kind of can, because you can stick things up this part and you can stick things down like from the shoulder, so you can kind of get both areas of the arm besides like the elbow, but the crease of the arm gets probably the most itchy in a full arm cast. I would take like giant salad spoons and stuff and take the back end of it, like part of the handle, and like shove it down my cast and try and itch my arm, which is dangerous to like stick things down into your cast because they can get stuck and they can cause an infection, and you can scratch yourself and also get an infection that way, because if you have any kind of open wound, there is a risk of it getting infected in there because you're sweaty and there's just dead skin that's just stuck in there and whatever mess. So it's gross. And I already had a wound on my elbow, and I don't remember exactly what they did for that to help it with having to go straight into a cast, but I do actually also have a scar on my elbow, and I will also insert a picture of it here for you guys. So that did scar up after having to be in a cast and have like that moist, warm compression on it for like a while, for 4 weeks, because then I had it below that for once I got out of it. If I recall correctly, I believe that it still had a scab on it when I got out after 4 weeks. Like, it was still like gross, and that's also why it scarred up, because it was also in the summer when I was still in the short cast, so I was still out in the sun. So with scars, you kind of want to keep sunscreen on them, also like tattoos, because with scarring, they can get a lot darker and you can get hyperpigmentation if it's a scab and like that area is healing and everything, and even a little bit afterwards. Same goes for any kind of scar with like stitches. With tattoos, you want to put SPF on as well, because it will make it fade faster. Just a little thing for you guys. That concludes those stories for you. That's actually, I kind of missed those, but that took up like half this video. Oh well. So then moving on to the next story. I don't remember what I had done through elementary school, but I had a lot of like little injuries here and there. Like, I'd twist something and have a brace on. I had a lot of ankle problems. I had knee pains, hip pains because of my hips being out of alignment and just having bad knees. I've rolled my ankles so many times from gymnastics specifically, but I also did it a lot in cheerleading. I did a season of soccer, so I had rolled my ankles then too when I was really little. And I've just always been a mess. But I had a lot of like little things throughout elementary school, middle school, not so much high school, but you'll see. You'll learn. So the next major injury that I can really remember, or that I can remember, is 6th grade. I believe this happened, there was two serious injuries in 6th grade. So I had 2 injuries in 2nd grade, 2 injuries in 6th grade. So the first one that I believe happened first, I can't remember completely. So I was having a lot of pain in the ball of my foot on my right foot. And it was so bad that when I would walk, I was walking on the side of my foot, and it was making the side of my foot hurt. And I knew it wasn't injured, it was just from how I was walking, and it was making just everything on my right side, like, I was out of alignment. So from walking like that, because you shouldn't walk like that, guys, it's not good for you, obviously. So everything was hurting because that's not normal. You're not supposed to walk like that. And, you know, I tell my mom, and my mom's like, let's wait till it's a week and then we'll go to the doctor. So now I kind of do that with injuries. I'll wait a week, you know, see how it does, because usually with swelling or any kind of inflammation, maybe it's inside or visibly on the outside, it usually will get worse before it will get better. So whatever I had done to it, we thought, you know, I had done something bad to it. So she said, wait a week. So after that week had passed, we decided to go to the doctors, and I can't remember if, I believe we went to this, like, children's emergency care or whatever it was, like the children's hospital. We went in one morning, got x-rays of my foot to see what's up, because I could not walk on it. It was killing me. So we get x-rays done, and the doctor comes in, and, you know, he puts the x-rays up on, you know, the little screen, and he was like, nothing's broken. Like, thank God. And he goes, but let me draw you a diagram. I'm like, oh great, what's wrong now? So he grabs out his pen, clicks it open, rolls over in his chair, and with the paper that's laying on the table, he decides to start drawing a diagram, and he kind of draws out the shape of a foot, a basic foot, or he actually draws around my foot and says, this is your big toe, and kind of draws off to the side a diagram of like a big toe, how the bones are. And he said, where this joint of the bone is on your foot, that's where the ball of your foot is. And he's explaining that under the ball of your foot, you have 2 little bone, like round bones like this, that the bigger bone sits on top of to cushion your foot. That's what gives the ball of your foot the cushioning. So he explains to me they're called sesamoid bones. So then he actually starts explaining to me how most people are actually born with this weird mutation or issue where one of the sesamoid bones will actually grow into separate little bones. So then you have one regular sized one and 2 smaller ones. And what this can do is just cause some inflammation and irritation, because it's kind of moving around a little bit. It's not a perfect cushion. So the tissue and the cartilage and everything around the big toe and the ball of your foot get irritated, inflamed, and cause it to start hurting. And that was what my problem was. I was born with one of my sesamoid bones in the ball of my foot in 2. We never got an x-ray of my other foot to see if it had it as well. I did have it flare up only once. Luckily, it never came back. So I don't know for sure if I have it in my other foot. But my right foot has given me issues many times, and it's very frustrating because there's not much you can really do for it. And I've tried a couple of options. So for this first instance, there's multiple because there are stories behind each time I've hurt my foot. So this first time, I was given this weird shoe that had like a plank of wood inside of it, so when you walk you can't bend your toe. Usually they give it to people who have just had like toe surgery and stuff. With surgery also, you can get it removed. I don't know if they have like a replacement nowadays that they can put in and replace that sesamoid bone, which would be really nice and actually really smart to do. But the issue with doing surgery and removing it is it ends up just causing more irritation, and then you can like have other issues come about, and I believe that it also just ends up causing the person more pain in the end, and it just ends up hurting all the time and it never goes away. So he was like, we're not doing surgery. So he gave me the weird shoe and said, wear it for 2 weeks. So I wore it for 2 weeks, and it actually helped. It made it go away, and it went away all the way up until, you know, freshman year where it flared up again, I believe. But that'll be a story for a different time, because that had a whole other bunch of things happen. So it helped, it went away. I was good. Keep going on about my life, and suddenly my right ankle starts hurting later on. I believe that first injury happened first semester. For us, our semesters go from August to December. And then we have the spring semester, whatever you want to call it. You know, we have our second semester, which is January through May. So the first injury happened in the first semester. And then now this injury happened second semester. I believe it was like around the end of March. My ankle started hurting really bad as I was walking, and I really could not walk on it. And, you know, I told my mom, I kept complaining about it. So I got her to take me to the doctors before it had been a week. And thank God I did, because the doctor took an x-ray of it. You know, he didn't see really any breaks, but he notices in one of my ankle bones. So I use my hand as a diagram for you guys. So as you know, in your ankle is made up of multiple little bones. And so with one of my ankle bones, one of the bigger ones actually, with the bone you also have like a layer of cartilage over top of it. Right under the layer of cartilage, right where the bone had started, there was a little crater, or like a little divot. Not little, it was actually a pretty decent sized little, I keep saying little, it wasn't even little, it was like a decent sized crater in my ankle bone, one of my ankle bones, and the cartilage laying over top of it. I'm struggling right now, guys, holy crap, I can't talk today. The cartilage laying over top of it could have caved in at any moment, and he said with that happening, they can't rebuild cartilage. It's really hard to, like, for the ankle and that bone and everything, it is impossible for that specific injury. He didn't know what had caused it, because they hadn't done anything to cause that, and they haven't really ever seen that happen before, actually. So he decided, he said to me, let's send you out to go get MRIs to make sure that there is blood flow to where that crater is, because if there is no blood flow, we need to go in there and do surgery to drill a hole to get some blood flowing into that injury or that crater to help it heal, because it can't heal unless it has blood flow to it. So we go off, we have to wait however long, go get x-rays. I think he had given me a brace for that time, before, like, while waiting to go get x-rays. So I have the brace, I go get MRIs. So we go get the MRIs, we wait for the doctor to get the results. We hear back, he said, good news, there's blood flow, we don't have to do surgery. Thank God. But you do have to wear a cast. Another cast. And I was like, this can't be happening again, because we're going on vacation. Again. But this time, we were going on a cruise for spring break. It was like, I'm not wearing a cast for spring break. I'm going on a cruise. So he says, okay, we will put you in a cast for, I believe I was in a cast for 2 weeks leading up to the trip. And then like the day before the trip, or 2 days, however long before the trip, we went in, got the cast taken off. So I didn't have it for very long, but I did have to wear a cast for like 2 weeks. And then I got it taken off, and I had to wear an air cast for another 2 or 3 weeks for it to finish healing. So I had to go on a cruise with an air cast. And I do have pictures from that, so I will insert some just pictures. I don't have any videos from that, because I don't think I took any, really. I might have. I'll check with that, but I will insert some clips of me with the air cast and just how I looked so weird. Like, I apologize. It was 6th grade, guys. Come on. So before we even got on the cruise, which we took Carnival, we were taking Carnival out of Puerto Rico. It's still actually a cruise that I know a couple people taking coming up soon, but it is a Carnival that leaves out of Puerto Rico that goes to like St. Thomas, Barbados, St. Kitts, St. Martin, St. Lucia, and I think like one other place or something like that. So it's still a fairly popular cruise. And so before we even got there, we were going through TSA at the Hartsfield-Jackson Airport International. So we're going through TSA, and I look at the people and I'm like, hey, like, I can take this off. Should I just take it off? And they're like, no, it's fine. Just leave it on. I'm like, okay. It takes 2 seconds, you know, really quick. I already had it pumped to the right level. I just needed to take the straps off, stick it in, stick it through the scanner, and put it back on. No biggie. It wasn't that big of a deal. But they were like, no, you're fine. You can leave it on. I walk through the scanner. They're like, ma'am, you have to step aside for an x-ray. I was like, why? I could have just taken the dang thing off. It's not that big of a deal. And so I'm trying to take these x-rays, and they're getting mad at me. I've done x-rays. I've taken so many x-rays, guys. Throughout my whole life, I've taken so many x-rays. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I've done this before. It's not that hard. But they kept getting mad at me because I couldn't position my foot just right. And I'm like, just right, guys, I can take this thing off, and you can look at it. You can strip this thing down. The little airbags come out. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, it was crazy, but we get it. They get their pictures. We're good. We get through security. We get on the plane, and I actually had to, like, take all the air out of the bags because with, like, the altitude and pressure change, being in a plane, like, apparently something can happen with the bags. I don't know if they expand or deflate, whatever. And I believe when we landed, it actually got tighter around my ankle because of the pressure. But we get in there, we land, and we ended up going hiking to find, like, these waterfalls. And I went hiking in an air cast, guys. It was crazy. But finally, we get onto the cruise ship, and everybody on that cruise knew me as the super boot girl because I was the only person on that cruise with a boot or cast or some sort. So everybody knew little blonde-haired sixth grade me running around with a super boot. I made friends with a couple girls. One specifically, we were like this the whole trip. And there were a group of boys that kept, like, kind of hitting on us and, like, wanting to play around on the ship and just do crazy things. So we played with them. It was fun. Like, they were around our age. The girl was a couple years older than me. And I always get along with people older than me, so we just really hit it off. Everybody thought we were sisters too because she had really blonde hair. I'll insert a clip too from on that cruise. I have a lot of pictures coming up now with these stories. I will have more pictures, thank God. So, because I try and document all my stuff now. So we would race with them. We would alternate. So one group of us would be in the elevators and one group would be on the stairs for a little bit, and then we would switch, but we'd have to race each other, and the people on the stairs would have to guess what floor the people in the elevator were going to land on, and they had to meet them when they landed. And because they were glass elevators, and every time you, like, get up to one floor, you could kind of see, like, where the elevators were. So we would race back and forth, and so when one time, like a couple times, when we would be on the stairs, and I would literally jump down, like, I would jump 3 or 4 stairs and land, and with that super boot on, it would be like, thump, and, like, so loud, but I didn't do any damage to my ankle. I didn't cause any more injury to my ankle somehow, because it was so stupid. And, like, luckily with having the air cast, I was able to take it off, so when we went snorkeling and we got to get off on the islands and go to the beaches and everything, I got to take it off, which was super awesome. I could swim and just have a normal summer and not have to worry about a cast. So that was really nice with that injury, kind of. I actually do still have my boot. I kind of want to save it for something and just either prank somebody or do something with it. I don't even know yet. But those are some more of my stories for you. I'm trying to keep this one a little bit more short and sweet. I really am working on trying to make my videos a little bit shorter for you guys. Thank you guys so much for, if you've made it to this end point. But leave any comments down below of maybe what you guys would like to see, if you liked the video or if you did not. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can give it a thumbs down, because it's a free world and you can do whatever you want. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a awesome rest of your day, week, or weekend, depending on whenever you guys are watching this. And I can't wait to see you in my next video. Peace.